Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Blunt Conversations, hosted by Blunt Brunch. This episode is sponsored by EventHi. EventHi is the world's first cannabis ticketing platform. Discover events, buy tickets and sponsorships, or create your own and meet people with a shared interest. Whether it is a local farmer's market, a large music festival, or a business conference, EventHi's online marketplace has been designed to bring people together to experience cannabis events in a safe and social space. Visit eventhi.io to learn more. Now, for those that are tuning in, we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So if you want to join the conversation, let us know where you're joining in from. Feel free to throw in some questions in the chat or just join the conversation with myself and today's special guest. Last month, we spent each week talking about the importance of serving on boards. And now for the month of February, we are changing the discussion to restoration of a woman, discussing mental and physical health in the workplace. As we continue to bounce back from the pandemic, it has been shown that women are experiencing higher levels of mental and physical health challenges. 35% of females have moderate to severe levels of depression. 27% of females have moderate to severe levels of stress. And 30% of women felt that everything was an effort. Each week, we're going to be speaking with leaders who are going to help us raise awareness on the importance of supporting women's health and physical health in the workplace. And today, we're going to hear from a colleague who is an amazing leader in this space. This week, I'm honored to introduce you to Jennifer Miles, managing partner of Plant Body Soul and founder of Cannakula. For many years, Jennifer has been a leader in the health and wellness industry. With her dedication to creating and marketing events aimed at changing the conversation around cannabis, she has been recognized and respected for her innovation and professionalism. It was actually in the hospitality industry where she gained an invaluable education in customer service, guest experience, attention to detail, and the art of creating space. Ultimately, finding a healthier, happier way of being became Jennifer's #1 priority through a difficult journey with a digestive disease in her 20s and early 30s. She merged her roots in hospitality and health and wellness with her passion for creating memorable guest experiences in beautiful spaces to step into the next phase of life, the emerging Arizona medical cannabis industry. Now, I'm going to share a little bit about her background, her professional background, and then we're going to have her join us for the conversation. In 2017, she founded Cannakula, which is a wellness-focused cannabis education and special event company. Cannakula literally translates to cannabis community, which is a wellness-focused experience through the integration of plant medicine with yoga, meditation, and the healing arts and sciences in the form of classes, workshops, and special events. Now, in 2020, with the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, life changed direction once again. Jennifer pivoted to co-create Plant Body Soul, a cannabis-specific creative marketing and branding agency. Now, Jennifer also holds 500 hours of yoga training distinction with over thousands of hours of training. She specializes in guided sleep-based meditation called I Am Yoga Nidra, as well as Hatha Gong yoga for PTSD, restorative yoga, yin yoga, and prenatal yoga, and is a certified sleep science coach. She is passionate about working with specialized individuals such as athletes and veterans. And she believes the key to a happy life is meditation and practices it daily, along with Pilates, yoga, and Qigong, which I'm going to ask her if I said that right. She also enjoys cooking for loved ones, reading, being in the ocean, hiking, traveling the world, and dancing to house and techno music. So with that being said, Jennifer, thank you for joining us today.
Hi.
Hi. Did I say that right?
It's pronounced a couple of different ways, but you'll often hear the pronunciation of Qigong or Qigong, depending on who you're talking to.
Okay. Well, and I love at the end how you threw in that you love dancing, because that is my jam. You'll find me dancing everywhere and anywhere. So that's, I think, another reason why we vibe well.
For sure.
Well, again, I'm thrilled to have you join us on this conversation for Blunt Conversations. And, to me, you really have paved the way through your hard work and inspiration. But, let's go back to the beginning. What led you to joining the cannabis industry?
Really, I started as a medical patient. Like you mentioned in the introduction, I was diagnosed with a pretty severe digestive disease in 2001. I was 21, and it was a hereditary digestive disease that my grandmother had, and is very, related to stress. And so I started using cannabis to help mitigate the symptoms that I was experiencing, to help me feel hungry, reducing the pain of digestion. And I knew that because it changed my life in such a positive way for a long time, I knew I wanted to direct my focus, my attention, everything into this space, and here I am.
Well, we are thrilled to have you here and already see the impact that you have made through these unique experiences and just settings, and even for brands and the marketing that you and your team are building for them. Can you share more about Plant Body Soul and actually the work you all do for brands in the industry?
Sure. Plant Body Soul is a creative marketing and branding agency specific to wellness-minded cannabis brands, or artistic and lifestyle-focused cannabis brands, and also the emerging psychedelic market, which is very exciting. So we do everything from social media management to the content creation that you see on that social media. We do email marketing, we do copywriting, we do digital and graphic design and print design. We do influencer management and brand activation, which is my specialty. So we do a lot of things here at the agency. And I think most of all, we have a lot of fun. So.
Definitely. And, one of the experiences that's, I think, more created by Plant Body Soul is the First Fridays. Yes. That you have. Yes, that is, I have to come back. I know it's going now to, well, actually, can you share a little bit about First Fridays?
Yeah, so First Friday, we decided to create a happy hour called Friday High Day. And the last couple of years, it's been every month on First Friday, but now we're moving into a quarterly model. So we'll have 3 happy hours this year. And our first one is in March. And so basically we highlight art and music and food and delicious beverages all through the lens of cannabis. And you can come into our space, which is a beautiful 1900s carriage house in the historic Palm District near Roosevelt Row. And you can explore all of the different rooms and how they're activated, and maybe participate in a workshop that's an art workshop, or maybe some meditative coloring. You can dance to house music, or experience a zero-proof cocktail in the speakeasy. So there's a lot of fun things. And, I think one of the most beautiful things about Friday High Day is the community that comes to join us. I love this community because there's all sorts of different people that find their way to us. And I love that we are also the space that people will bring their moms and their grandmothers and their, elders to, because it feels like a safe space for people to explore cannabis. So that's definitely a highlight for me.
I love that. Friday High Day was actually, outside of probably Mita, was actually one of the first cannabis experiences I actually participated in when I moved to Arizona. And I was just like, this is my jam. Like, it was just an amazing vibe and experience. And I'm all about that experiential marketing. So I could just see the way that the thinking was within the event. And I'm like, this is amazing. And it felt safe and just comfortable and welcoming. It was really welcoming, which I liked and appreciated.
I'm really glad to hear that. And we were so happy that you were here. You're part of our family here. So thank you.
Yeah. Now, as we mentioned in your bio, you're also the founder of Cannakula, which creates wellness experiences through the integration of hemp and cannabis plant medicine with healing arts and sciences. Why are experiences like this important for humans and the community as a whole?
Well, I think it's really important to talk about practices that help you get to the root of some of the things that we experience as human beings. So, for me, when I started using cannabis to help mitigate, pain and discomfort, I also had to turn my attention towards practices that would help me become aware of the levels of stress I was holding and how my mental condition was affecting my body, and becoming aware of just even energy moving in my body. So I really wanted to bring awareness to practices that can be so helpful for people that are also using cannabis to address something, whether you're a medical patient or you're a adult use consumer. Most likely you're finding your way to cannabis for some reason, whether it's better sleep or less anxiety or just to feel better in your body or maybe more creativity, whatever it is. I think that these practices are really important in terms of partnership to get to where you need to go or where you want to be. So I also feel that it's really important to use my platform as a way to communicate that it's also healthy to do these practices in an unaltered state of being. And so that using cannabis every day, all day, is also maybe not the healthiest for us as human beings. And so it's important to experience yourself in an unaltered state of being, just as it is intentionally dropping into a practice maybe infused with cannabis. So it's a little bit of both. Moderation is key.
Yeah, moderation. Yeah, definitely. Well, and you brought up an even kind of conversation point, when it comes to recreational cannabis. I think some people are now even seeing that they thought they were always a recreational user, but now they're recognizing that, oh wait, like this, this helps get rid of my headaches. They weren't just knowledgeable about what they were actually using it for. And they've actually now had that understanding, which is really cool to see how people are transitioning their frame of thought when it comes to cannabis and their use too.
I agree. And I think that this is part of the important work by rescheduling cannabis, or, by giving people fair and equal access to make the choice to use cannabis or not, whether you're a medical patient or not. It's just about having fair and equal access.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for sharing more about your ventures. For this month's topic, let's get to it. Why do you think it is important that businesses are prioritizing mental health and well-being for women at work?
I believe that there's not a lot of separation between work and people's personal lives. There is a lot of bleeding into each other, and a lot of us don't have healthy boundaries with our work lives and our personal lives. So I think it's important to really address having some healthy practices around, your work life and your personal life. And I think COVID, being in isolation, I think people really had a hard time. And so, shining the light on, hey, it's okay if you're having a hard time, and being supportive is really important for employers.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. And that is, you bring in like just reality check for me. It is really hard to balance that separation at times, especially with COVID. Now I work at home, so I can be here all day, and maybe get up once, and the sun will be down. The sun, is down when I wake up and down when I leave the office sometimes, and so it's I think even something that we have to learn as we're moving 100 miles per hour in this industry. If we are business owners ourselves, maybe we don't have bosses, but we're also the business owner that has to implement it to ourselves, because our team will feel that they have to work like us. That's the one thing I've recognized and I'm trying to work on,
Yeah, it starts from the top.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah.
Now, in your experience, what are 5 best practices that you have seen employers do to support women's health and physical health?
Well, I can definitely speak to some of the things that we're doing here at Plant Body Soul. One is encouraging that work-life balance. Being in a marketing agency or working with a marketing agency, there's a lot going on, and it's go, 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 and do. But we really do encourage everybody that works here to take holidays off. So we don't, we take all of the little holidays off, like President's Day, everybody's off, MLK Day, everybody's off. Like, we want people to have a break. It's important. We also encourage vacations and remote work. So we don't put really a limit on vacations. You just simply need to give us the heads up, like, hey, I'm going to be out of town, provided there's nothing, super important that you're needed here for. We're happy to give the time off. And we also encourage our teammates to work remotely. So if you want to go to Tulum and you want to check in virtually, great, that's fine. As long as, there's some little work time, things that need to get done. If you're working on things, that's okay. We're good with that. Additionally, we have flexible schedules. So like Mondays are our meeting Mondays, and we take them virtually from home. So you can be in the comfort of your own home. We also have like pretty easy hours. So Tuesday through Thursday is like 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then you can go home, which is really nice. And then Fridays work from home. So that gives people a balance. Like, you can be in your own space. If you have pets, you can be with your pets. If you have children, you can see your kids. Like, that's really important. And then additionally, as we're moving into our full-time employee status, we're looking to do like a paid vacation. And so I think bigger companies also, have paid vacations. I think that's important to encourage people to work and not feel like, oh, if I don't work, I'm not going to make money. So that's really important. Additionally, having a positive and inclusive workspace is really important. We have a lot of diversity here in our agency, and we try to keep things as positive as possible. And we have open door communication. That's also very helpful. Being able to communicate like, hey, I'm having a hard time here. I need support, and we can provide those resources if people need support. Gordon and I feel very strongly about allowing people to share where they're at. And being honest with us, because we're all human, and let's just be real, right? Let's be real with each other. And then, also we have a lot of opportunity for wellness here. We have a really great time in group meditation. We have yoga classes monthly for our teammates to practice together. I always offer opportunities for our teammates to drop into anything that I'm teaching. We talk a lot about healthy practices. We also have some fun little check-ins too. We use a system called Basecamp as our project management. And we have a self-care check-in at the end of every day, asking our teammates what they've done to take care of themselves. So that's definitely holding everyone accountable. I think that's important. And then, I think providing resources and education. If there's something that someone needs support for? How can we get them the tools that they need so that they feel like they can move forward?
I love that. And all that you offer, you're even striving to, like you said, bigger corporations offer X, and that's what we're striving to do. So anybody that's listening, these are all goals that you can get to. If you can't do them right now, it's understandable, but there's other activities or tools that you can implement. And a lot of them you shared, which are amazing.
Thank you.
One thing I thought of is that, I look on, probably on Instagram or TikTok or one of those, and I've found like scrolling a video, and I've seen it a bit more often. And they're people that are joking around where they're like, I'm on a flight and I just got a message to go on a Zoom with my boss, and they don't know I'm traveling. So it's like, so you're allowing for that ability for them to still go travel, still work. You don't need to stress and hide it and lie. Like, this is communication. You get your job done, and you can Zoom me on the plane if you're in the plane.
Absolutely. We encourage that. Our creative director was just coming back from Bali, and I know he was working on some assets that we needed on the plane, and, click send from overseas. And I mean, that's great. Like, the work is getting done and he's able to have some fun. I'm going to Miami for Miami Music Week, and I fully intend on taking some meetings from the beach. So I'm really excited about that.
That's great. Now, we've spoken about 5 best practices. How do you think, women themselves, like going to work, how can they restore and advocate for mental and physical health in the workplace?
I think number one is to speak up. If you need something, people don't know what they don't know. So I think the first thing is that, speak up if you need something. And if you see something that doesn't feel right, say something. Like, that's really good too. So I think that's number one. It starts with you and being empowered to just vocalize what you need and what you want. And then, I feel like joining a supportive network of women, like Blunt Brunch. That's a great resource for women who are working in the industry, to be able to connect with other women and maybe use their experiences to be helpful. So yeah, find somebody or some people, women, to support you.
Yes, I love that. Yes, I love that. And there's we welcome everyone for Blunt Brunch, and there's also some other amazing organizations out there too, or even grabbing lunch with a couple other female coworkers, like you're saying. Reach out to your team and go out there.
Yeah.
With how society is these days, being so fast paced, and with us always feeling like we have to be on, burnout can really become a huge issue for women in the workplace. What strategies would you personally suggest for burnout prevention?
Number one, prioritize your self-care.
There we go.
Hands down. That's it. It's something that I live by, because I know what happens to me when I don't. And you're not, I know this is a very common saying, but like, you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to fill your cup in order to be able to do all of the things and, move forward, nourish others, whatever it is. So, for me, I'll just say that I know that meditation works every time. And I know that it's something that many people avoid because it feels hard to sit down, find the time to sit down, and then the mind races, and then we feel like we're doing it wrong because it's hard to get the mind to stop. So meditation is a really incredible way to help avoid the mental burnout by just slowing the voices down. And there's one style of meditation in particular that I think is profoundly helpful to avoid burnout, and that's yoga nidra, and that's guided sleep-based meditation. And there's a lot of science that's happening around that right now. In fact, a great resource just to listen to about the benefits of yoga nidra is the Huberman lab, Dr. Andrew Huberman, who's done a lot of research on the science behind Yoga Nidra. And just giving yourself this space to lay down, close your eyes, slow the brain waves down. You can slow the thoughts down. You can begin to feel more rested. It helps you if you don't sleep well because maybe your mind is going or you're anxious. So Yoga Nidra in particular is extremely helpful for avoiding burnout. And additionally, I'll say staying off of devices in the early morning and the evening. If we're on devices all day and you're in front of blue light and, your mind is tethered to the work or the things in front of you, it's really important to, wake up, meditate just for a few minutes, whether that's just even taking a few deep breaths, going outside and getting the sunlight in your eyes. And then having some breakfast and then starting your work day. And then at night, it's like, go take a walk in the sunset and get those the evening sunset in your eyes. Take a walk, move through the day and let it go. Put your devices away after, at least 2 hours before bed. So it's super important. Just setting healthy boundaries on the technology and the access to you with work is really important.
I can actually attest to that because very recently I started that with my phone. I actually put timers and everything shuts off after a certain time and doesn't restart in the morning. So I don't get any notifications after a certain time. It even does like a warning. If I try to go and open an app, like, it's like, do you really want it? Kind of, so then I'm like, question it, and then it gives me like an option to do 15 more minutes of this app, or, or no, don't give yourself access to it. So I had to do that. And I can tell the difference of like just those extra hours. It's helped a lot.
Good for you. It's hard to do, especially as a business owner, because you're in it all the time. So yeah, I'm proud of you. Good job.
Now, again, as a business owner, can you share a few more personal examples? Actually, no, you kind of already answered that. But it was okay. I did have that question again. I didn't realize it was kind of similar to that last one.
Yeah, I mean, I do have, I would say meditation, yes, we talked about that. I mean, finding a physical practice, whether that's yoga or Pilates or Qigong, whatever that is, even if it's just walking, is really important. Finding rest practices is really, really, really important for me, and sleeping, at least 7 to 8 hours, getting that Yoga Nidra in when I can, really being aware of like my caffeine levels and how much that's pushing my adrenals, and pushing anxiety is really, really key for me. Eating healthy, drinking a lot of water. Being dehydrated is definitely not good for the body at all, especially long term. And as that starts to be in disease and things, and inflammation in the body is definitely triggered by being dehydrated. And then additionally, have a regular energy medicine session with my favorite practitioner, my favorite doctor. And that's how I'm doing me. So yeah.
Great. Yeah, those are great. I like those different ways to also remind others that they have access to as well. Yeah. This conversation just has been very empowering, but also like a good reminder of just like, it is accessible to do these things, or to, be able to go and bring awareness to certain things like this. Like it's okay. And it's needed. We need that safe setting for us to be physically healthy and mentally healthy when it comes to work with our own business or within our careers working at other companies. Before we end, where can our viewers connect with you? And also, do you have any call to actions you'd like to share with our audience?
Sure. We have amazing events and experiences that happen across the board through Plant Body Soul and Cannakula. If you're looking to experience some breath or meditation or a gentle yoga class, we create some very unique and beautiful spaces for you to be able to drop in. You can follow us on Instagram at 𝗧𝘂𝗲𝘀𝗱 or go to 𝗧𝘂𝗲𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 our classes and events there first, and our tickets do sell out regularly. So it's important to get on that email list. We do have an amazing event coming up on Saturday. We're doing yoga in the park with NFL athletes, and it's free for yoga teachers. And there's like a $35 ticket with a goodie bag, so you can come for a full day of wellness and have some fun in the sun. So that's really exciting. And then in terms of Plant Body Soul, if you want to come to a Friday High Day, all you got to do is go to plantbodysoul.com and sign up for our email list. You'll get those notifications via email, and also follow us on Instagram at plant.body.soul.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, Jen. It's always great speaking with you, and just the insight you've shared. I think it's very valuable for us all to hear these things, and to, again, be reminded of the importance of our physical and mental health, for sure.
It is. Thank you for having me on, Adelia. I just adore and appreciate you. So thanks so much.
I'll see you this weekend.
Bye.
Bye. Well, thank you all again for joining us and tuning in. As you all dove into this amazing advice and insight from Jennifer. Shout out again to this week's sponsor, EventHi, for empowering and supporting the Blunt Brunch mission. If you are an event organizer in cannabis, EventHi is your go-to spot to easily publish, promote, and sell tickets compliantly for your cannabis-related events. So visit eventhi.io to learn more. And just a few thoughts. This discussion was a powerful beginning of an essential dialogue. There's no quick fix for mental wellness, nor will any single initiative provide the support that women need to thrive at work. But prioritizing the well-being of women in your organization can unlock and engage an unstoppable workforce that is able to achieve their full potential. Now, with this weekly Blunt Conversations, we hope we can help make a bit of an impact by sharing, educating, and connecting you with individuals in this space who have invaluable insight and passion to share their thoughts on important topics like this. Thank you all again for joining us today and tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day, and save the date for next Tuesday, as Prisa will be joined by Sonia as they continue on this month's Blunt topic. We'll see you soon. Bye.